Welcome back to Coding Goblin, and welcome back to
the Champ-UI-ons League.
Yes, that is right. We are back with the most prestigious Tailwind CSS UI component library competition on the entire internet. Wow, it's such a great competition. This episode is brought to you by Cold Temperatures. Thank you, Cold Temperatures. We couldn't have done it without you. That's enough waffling. Today, we're going to be looking at daisyUI for a change. Now, people seem to love daisyUI, so hopefully you'll love this. But anyway, I did say enough waffling, so let's actually take a look at it. If you've used daisyUI before, you will be aware of this, but daisyUI works a bit differently to other Tailwind component libraries that I've looked at so far, in the sense that it uses its own classes. Instead of me trying to badly explain it, let's have a look how daisyUI explain it, because they actually know what they're talking about. Instead of writing 100 class names for every element, every page, every project, again and again. Oh, it's gonna do a little thing. I'm scrolling, by the way. As I'm scrolling, this is doing things. You just do that. You just put button primary. So basically what it does is it takes all of the classes, let's scroll back up to see if they appear again. So it takes all of these classes that would be typically applied to a Tailwind UI button, and it groups them all together and condenses them down to just a couple of classes. What that does is it allows you to do theming much more easily. You can change the theme colors in the config file and that will affect your whole project, which is really good. If you prefer working that way, really nice. Let's take a look at a couple of components. I've looked at a lot of these components before in previous videos. So what I'm going to do is take a look at a couple that I haven't looked at. I think that'll be really fun. Diff. This is quite nice, isn't it? It's a component that allows you to do this. The funny thing about this sort of component is I think they're just so specific. They're such a specific use case. I just don't really see when most people would need it. But that's the beauty of it, because if you're in a weird situation where you do need something like this, it exists. It's good when these things exist. If you need it, it's there. And if you don't need it, it's still there, but it doesn't harm you. If you don't need it, just ignore it. That's a message to myself. Oh, okay. Very good. I'm guessing that's just 2 images. No, it's not. Okay. Again, I don't know why you'd need that, but it's still impressive. It's impressive. Okay, well, there you have it. Let's have a look at something else. Now, this is an interesting one. It might be interesting. It's interesting to me when I can find it. There we go. File input. Have you ever tried to style a file input? I did once, and it was a long time ago, but I remember it being very painful, and I think in the end I just didn't bother. So this is quite useful. It looks much nicer than the default file input, which just looks disgraceful. But these are nice. They're just different colors really, aren't they? Oh no, that's a lie, different sizes. That is good. Okay, so that's the components I wanted to look at. I can't look at daisyUI without showing the theming. To give you a little insight into the theming, just look at this. This is incredible, I think. So you've got all these file inputs here, and you've got the primary one, secondary one. If you just go down to here, you can just select a different theme, and it shows you how they're going to look. It's really good. So if you lack design skills and creativity like me, and you don't want to have to come up with a theme yourself, you can just use one of these. Find one you like. Oh my gosh. Halloween, spooky. Forest, everything's just green. Primary color, green. Secondary color, green. Accent color, green. I'm not hating, by the way. I actually love daisyUI, and I'm very impressed by it. And it's way better than anything I've ever made. You can see how good this is, and how easy it is to make your website look unique. It could be quite easy to have lots of websites that look very similar. And a lot of websites do look similar, which I don't think is a particularly bad thing. But if you want a unique product, a unique website, this makes it easy to do, because come down to the bottom, I mean, look how many they've got. Preset ones, loads. But you can make your own theme. Make your own, bang your own colors in here, and you're laughing. Anyway, look. You put your colors in here, and it previews it over here, which is nice, really nice. Obviously that's a terrible color scheme, but if you knew what you're doing, you could make that look nice. So that's good. And I would say that's probably the biggest selling point of daisyUI, because that's what makes your websites look unique. I've not seen it done in this way on any other UI library so far. Mamba UI did have a similar thing where you choose your color and then it swaps out all the classes for the appropriate Tailwind classes. So it's a similar thing, but just a different way of doing it. I quite liked that, but I know people like this way of doing it. Some people don't like having lots of Tailwind classes in their markup, so this makes sense to do it this way. I personally don't care because I just like Tailwind. I like how it works. I find it easy to use. So that's that. Let's have a look at the store, because this is where it gets interesting. This is a relatively new part of daisyUI as far as I'm aware, and it's got templates, and they're not too expensive either, which is good. So they've got templates for different technologies. As you may know, I only care about Vue.js. This is for Next and React. Astro, I've never used Astro. I've never used React for that matter, but I've heard people talking about both of them, obviously. Obviously I've heard of React. I know I live in a cave, but come on. Astro, I've heard good things about. It's one of those ones where if you've got a set of technologies that you use, is there any point in learning every single framework or multiple frameworks? Not really. If you get good at one framework, stick with it. It becomes really easy for you to use because you use it all the time. That makes more sense to me than learning 10 different frameworks and being average at all of them. It's up to you though, do what you want. It's your life. If you want to waste it learning 10 frameworks, that's up to you. Absolutely fine. It's just down to what your motivation is. Anyway, that was a mad sidetrack. So as I was saying, look, they've got different templates and some of them work with Vue, which is all I care about. So we've got this one for Vue. Also $29, that's pretty good. I know you only get the one you're paying for, but if you have a specific need for something and you just want to get it quickly and you don't want to pay like $300 for the entire product, you just want one or two templates, well, one template, and you can get, look, $19. That's good. Not for Vue though. Is it for Vue? No. Oh, this one's for Vue. So there you go. Should we have a, let's have a look at this. So this is, oh yeah, I had this before. I'm guessing they have to preview them as images, or they choose to preview it as images because they don't want people to just inspect element and copy all the code, which I get. Let's zoom in a little bit. So this is a template that you can use with Vue.js and other technology. I can't remember what the other ones were. So there you have it. That's a theme. No, it's not. That's a template. Very good. Very good job. Very good indeed. Let's just have a quick look, see if we've missed anything else. Auth template. So this one's actually compatible with all the themes. Surely they all are. They use the same classes, don't they? Should be compatible with anything. Okay, there you go. Not much else to say on that. One thing I didn't mention before, if you look at the components, let's go accordion. We always look at an accordion, probably something to do with the alphabet. Here, preview HTML JSX. Selfishly, I would love it if there was a Vue.js tab there. There isn't, but as I said previously, you can't expect these UI libraries to cater for every single framework. I would like it to say Vue there. Someone else would like it to say Svelte. That's the framework, isn't it? That's the front end framework, maybe. But at the end of the day, it doesn't. However, go back to the store. This is interesting. Come to the bottom. In development, headless UI and daisyUI component pack for Vue. So that's interesting, very interesting. I'll be interested in that when that's available. Don't know when that's going to be, don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know anything, but that will be interesting. That was a good look at daisyUI. We may have looked at daisyUI before. We may look at daisyUI again. daisyUI may get more views than other stuff. That's nothing to do with why we look at it so often. Nothing to do with that. It's a complete coincidence. Anyway, I think it's probably time we look at giving daisyUI a score. We will, of course, be using the internationally recognized website scoring system, recognized in over 89 countries. Ooh, that's a lot of countries. It must be legit. So, what can we say? It's good. It's very good. It's popular. Very popular. So, daisyUI gets a score of 9 ferrets.
The Champ-UI-ons League.
Thank you for watching. Play the theme tune.
The Champ-UI-ons League.